Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. We've got a packed show today. Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Lord have mercy.
Whoa! How you doing,
Skip? A lot of stuff going on over here.
You like
I gotta
that, Skip?
sit back here.
You got a little something,
Yeah.
you know?
I felt like that should have been maybe your Friday look.
Nah,
up to St. Patrick's Day.
I was waiting on old LeBron to do something. You know, it's hard to get a date last minute for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
But she was willing to go out with it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So they finally won a game against the Bulls?
Don't do that, Skip.
And you're
Skip,
actually
don't do
gloating about it?
Skip, don't do that.
Whew.
How
are
you doing
Shannon?
today, Skip?
Boy, I'm ready.
Just, so I'm glad to see you. Anytime you look over like you like my ensemble. So once I get your
I didn't say I liked it. I
He's acknowledging it. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Let's get started in the NBA. Things are getting crazy out west. The Rockets now have a 3-game lead over Golden State, and the Warriors are dealing with major injuries to their stars. The Blazers, the hottest team in the league right now. They've won 13 straight to move to the 3rd seed in the West and are up 2 games on the 4th seed Thunder. OKC beat the Raptors in Toronto yesterday thanks to another triple-double from Russell Westbrook. After the game, Russ talked about the playoff push.
Russ, you're setting up guys early, you're attacking late, another triple-double. You seemed like a man on a mission today. What were you hoping to achieve out here?
I am a man on a mission. We got to take care of business. This time of the year, it's time to turn up a notch. And like I always said, man, I'm just thankful and blessed to be able to go out and play. And every time I go on the floor, I try to give it all I have.
Shannon, who is the biggest threat to Golden State in the West?
The Golden State Warriors' health. Klay Thompson will be evaluated on the 22nd. They say Steph is going to be evaluated, say, in the next couple of days. Now KD is out, Skip, for 2 weeks. So all that withstanding, they're healthy. No one's beating them. But if I got to pick a team, and I think for the sake of this conversation, you want me to pick a team, I'm going to say the Houston Rockets because I believe over the course of 48 minutes, they will get great guard play. Chris Paul and James Harden. James Harden is playing out of his mind. He leads the NBA in scoring. I think he's 3rd in assists. He's even rebounding the ball. Yesterday, he got a block shot, Skip. Last time you heard block shot and James Harden in the same breath.
and he also leads on getting fouled, shooting 3-point
Oh,
shots. Go ahead. Yeah.
He got me upset yesterday because James Harden complained to the official about a non-foul call. Dude shoots 15 free throws a night, and one time they possibly miss one, he's complaining. But, Skip, the thing that they can do that very few teams can do, especially in the playoffs, Chris Paul is a great defensive point guard. Trevor Ariza can play great defense. P.J. Tucker can play defense.
Yes, he can.
Clint Capella can play the post. Now, he's a little undersized when it comes to Big Adams, but Adams is a different monster. So I believe the Houston Rockets, all that being said, Chris Paul and James Harden, if they stay on this current place, they'll be, I think, the second teammates to average 8 assists or more for an entire season. Magic Johnson, Norm Nixon did it 81-82, and I think John Lucas and some Johnny Moore did it with the San Antonio Spurs back in the early 80s.
Oh, that's a blast from the past.
Exactly. So this doesn't happen often. So what you're going to get, you're always going to be in great shape. You don't have to worry about, man, who's going to initiate the offense if Chris Paul's off the floor? James Harden. And if James is off the floor, who's going to initiate the offense? Chris Paul. And James Harden, again, down the stretch, Skip, he was spectacular. Step back 3 with 30 seconds. He got an alley-hoop lob to Capella. He's playing unbelievable. So with that being said, and I love what Russ is playing out of his mind again. But if you tell me he's going to we seen him have a triple-double last year against the Rockets, and they got the doors blown off him. Like you like to say, you and Rob Parker, a gentleman's sweep. They lost it.
I don't say that.
Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you said
I just say they got swept in 5. It's not even gentlemen.
Yeah,
You just got your butt swept.
Yeah, because you like to use that against somebody else we know, but I ain't going to say no name. He averaged a triple-double. One game he had, 50, 52, 53 points in a triple-double, and they lost. If you tell me that he's going to shoot this efficiently, 15 to 22, and Steven Adams is going to give you 25 and be a monster on the board, and Paul George is going to be efficient, and Melo will be 3 or 4 from 3, I say, Skip, you got a great chance. They'll probably take them 7 games and lose, but I don't believe that's going to happen. So with all that, to get right back to my original point, the Houston Rockets is the team outside of the Warriors, their health. The Rockets are the team that's most likely to challenge them for the Western Conference title.
I hear all you just said, but I got a feeling after I watched yesterday Russ and company dismantle, as you call them, what are they? The
baby dinosaurs.
Baby dinosaurs.
Yep.
Up in Baby Dinosaurs' own Jurassic Park, right?
Right.
I just said,
And DeRozan got fouled, too. He did get fouled, Skip. You know it. Tell the truth, Skip.
yeah, he got fouled. But again, that wasn't why they lost that game. The Thunder were why they lost that game. And the Thunder, by the way, have now swept the Raptors this year. No huge deal, but they've done a lot of other stuff. And I am starting to see and feel Russ's revenge. And I'm not talking about over Golden State or Houston. I'm talking about over Kevin Durant. I'm just starting to feel it. Remember last year? What did Russ post on social media? That he was watching Sister Act 2 while KD was winning MVP of the finals over LeBron James, thereby declaring himself the best player in basketball. But we'll leave that alone for another day. But I'm starting to sense this could be Brother Act 2, where all of a sudden Russ gets his moment over his former brother, Kevin Durant, and Russ gets his finals moment over LeBron James. Because there's something about these Thunder that I love. There's something, I don't love it when they play down to the level of their opposition, which they have done all year long. And so their schedule's actually good because it's tough going all the way home. So I don't think they're going to be able to stoop to a defeat where it'll put them in any jeopardy. But if you look at the great things they've done all year, they beat Golden State twice already, and they beat them bad. They beat them by 17 at home and by, 20 at Golden State? Then they beat Houston by 5 on Christmas Day. As I said, they swept Toronto. They scored 148 on your LeBrons before the trades. But still, they scored 148.
Remember what we did to them up there?
You went and got them. Mm-hmm. Those are like the two aberration games of the whole NBA season. The new Cavs went to Boston, destruction, and went to Oklahoma City, destruction, and now the new Cavs are 8-7. I don't know.
I mean, did you see what we trotted out there Saturday?
Yeah.
Did you see?
No, I know that was a mess.
Okay.
I would agree, but the Bulls are a mess too. So, and you won by what, 4 or 5, something like that?
I mean, you saw what Bron.
Okay.
Stop bringing Bron in this. Talk about.
But playing down to the level of competition this year. These Thunder, led by Russell Westbrook, who's got a chance to average a triple-double for the season again, which is
Need to average 12 rebounds a game.
But he's capable, against these good teams. But they lost at Sacramento, at Dallas. They also lost Dallas at home. They lost at Orlando. They lost at Brooklyn. They lost at Phoenix. And they also lost another home game to Charlotte. These are horrendously bad losses that have put them in some standing jeopardy, although they're hanging in at the 4 spot.
And this is what concerns me, Skip, because we've seen them go on hot streaks, win 17 of 22, and then we see them lose 6 of 8. We see them lose 7 of 9. That doesn't strike me as a team that could put up serious resistance to the Golden State Warriors.
Something is happening in Oklahoma City very quietly that you might not have noticed, because I don't think a lot of people have noticed. But Corey Brewer, late of the Los Angeles Lakers, has changed life quietly in Oklahoma City because he's a better Robertson. He can actually score. He's shooting in the 6 games he started. They have won all 6 games. And Corey Brewer is making half of his three-point shots, 50%. He's averaging 14 points a game. We know Robertson's not capable of doing that. And Corey Brewer, at 6 feet 9 inches long, can defend.
Not like Robertson, but he can defend.
He's close. And for the early Lakers this year, early on, he was their go-to defender. Like that second game when Lonzo had his huge game that night at Phoenix, they put Corey Brewer from the start on Devin Booker, and he basically took him out of the game. He played hellacious defense. So this is a huge key addition to this group. And
what he gives you offensively, you're willing to sacrifice some of that defensively because we know Robertson is a liability offensively.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's just a complete liability. But Steven Adams isn't just having a good year, he's having a career year.
This dude is out of his mind.
14 and 9, both career highs. 64% from the field, which if you look at the 120 players who have 600 or more attempts on offense, shot attempts, he's number 1 in the league. 64%. So what does Melo bring you? What does Paul George bring you? They just bring you presence that Russ didn't have. Paul George is a better Oladipo. And I know Oladipo's had a real big bounce back year, but Paul George is just a little better. And he's a 5-time All-Star.
Right.
And obviously Melo is a 10-time All-Star who is making 36% from three, which is the best he's shot it in about 3 years. So at least he's become a spot-up shooter. But when you play Houston in the playoffs or Golden State in the playoffs, what you have now, you have presence. You have star power. I'm not saying they're great players, but when they walk on the floor, Golden State's going to be like, oh, they're here.
Hold on. The guy that you call George Paul, all of a sudden you believe in him in the playoffs?
Complimentary star. Just a complimentary star. But he's better than all I said is he's better, a little better than Oladipo.
And what about
he
Melo?
has star quality in that he's got some cachet.
What are we going to do about Melo?
He's just out there. But he makes threes. And you know what? He can make big shots. He will make big late shots. I think he's a clutch shooter. He always has been. I like him with the ball in his hands.
So let me get this right. You telling me a team that has a guy that you call George Paul, you call him a complimentary star, and Carmelo Anthony, who's only been to the Western Conference Finals once in his 15-year career.
And Steven Adams.
That's the team.
Corey Brewer. Yep, that's the team.
Now, if this
Jeremy Grant coming off the bench has been pretty good.
You know what? I would buy that Corey Brewer if we're going back to the Florida days when they were back-to-back national champions.
You should buy him right now.
No, I ain't buying it.
6-0 since he got in the lineup.
Skip, that's a small
He's changing the way. He's smart. He's savvy. He's a veteran. He's been on 6 teams. He's 32 years of age. He knows how to play basketball, and he's not afraid of anybody, including DeMar DeRozan. He's just not afraid. He'll take your best scorer, and he will make it hard on him because he's wily. He's savvy. This team is starting to take off, and you want to talk about on a mission? That guy's on a mission, that Russell Westbrook guy. He sacrificed 7 points of scoring. He went from 32 a game last year to only 25 this year just to make sure he could get George Paul in the lineup, fit him in.
He hear you talking.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's who he is.
No, it's not.
But it's better than what do you remember anybody they had last year? Can you remember what they had?
A 5-time All-Star.
Yeah, okay.
And he had his team on several occasions, had LeBron going 6 games, 7 games
so
in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Thank you. You're making my case, right?
But the Golden State Warriors, Skip, stop it.
No,
you know if they're
I'm going to
healthy,
start it.
You know good and well if they're healthy.
But they're not healthy, and I don't know. Obviously, in the end, it's like in every sport. I hate this about sports in general. The injury gods dictate the winner in the end. And right now, the injury gods are getting as tired of Golden State as maybe you and I are getting tired of.
I ain't tired of them.
You are.
Nope. I want to see round 4.
Do you?
Ding, ding.
Really?
Yeah, because it's going to be 2-2 after this.
Oh, please. It'll be in 5, and it'll be a quote-unquote sweep.
No. We got to get some players back.
Yeah?
But LeBron says, I play with who I got. Zizic. You see what he did.
He does not say, I play with
That's
who I
what he
got.
said.
He says, I don't have enough help.
No, he said, I ain't been a while.
It's been so long since I had to play without an all-star.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's a
but he's still
classic
making
reach
it happen.
for injury
Look at that roster that he trotted out there with Sunday, Skip. Saturday. You saw that.
Okay.
Parenthesis is getting played.
Anybody that's not playing right now is not due back? Is anybody gone for the year?
Man, I don't know.
Gone for the year.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know when Tristan is coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know when Kevin Love is coming back.
He's coming back this week.
I don't know when Nance Jr. with the hamstring.
He'll be all right.
Hamstrings are.
I know, but he'll be okay.
No.
He'll be okay. They'll all come back on time, and the problem might be that Golden State's all going to come back on time. Although when Clay actually has a fracture in his shooting thumb, that's just serious business to me.
That should be
Is it going to
concerning.
plague you the rest of the playoffs? Are you going to be able to get right back in the shooting sink and flow that you were in?
Even if Paul George and Carmelo do not play as well as they played yesterday, if you tell me Russell's going to shoot 64% and average a triple-double, I'm going to say they're going to be there. They will be there in every game. But you know that's not going to happen because last year, remember what he was? At one point, he was 17 or 23. He entered the game, what, Skip? 18 or 43. So you know what's capable of happening.
He did not have any help last year. Now he's got some serious star power.
Well, you just called a man a complimentary star. That's not a compliment.
It's okay.
No, it's not a compliment, Skip.
Yeah. And by the way, Steven Adams we couldn't find him last year.
Yeah.
He got his big money, and then he disappeared.
Yeah,
I can find him now.
Oh, he's playing. He's a monster.
Yeah.
I think he's the only guy that has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds.
Yeah.
He's a monster on the glass.
Yep.
Give Russ credit. He's playing as good as he did last year. considering what he now has with him, because like you said, he has to share some of the load, share a little bit of it. He's still getting the biggest piece of the pie.
Yep.
Giving Paul George and Melo a little crumb. Y'all eat that right there and be happy.
So look at what they do when the competition is high, when they have to take it up a level, they keep winning big games. Look what they did to Utah. Utah's really good. They beat them 3 out of 4 times. And they might have to play Utah in the first round. That's the way it would stand today, and it's probably going to change. But they can take Utah.
Yeah, I'm going to see what they're going to do with the Stifle Tower.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. But again, I want those in Spurs Nation to know I haven't written them completely
Yes, you have.
off. Well, I just can't help it
Kawhi
because
said he ain't coming back.
I've never been more disappointed in any player I've ever rooted for than I am right now for Kawhi Leonard.
He hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's hurting me is who he's hurting.
Didn't his doctor say, his doctor, not the Spurs doctors, his doctors are smarter.
All I know is that almost 7 weeks ago, the most patient and conservative medical staff in all of sports declared Kawhi Leonard healthy enough to play. They cleared him to play, and he still says he's hurt, even though last Thursday his camp was saying, well, maybe we'll try last Thursday, and he didn't try last Thursday. Yep.
Is there such a thing? Job never had too much patience.
Yeah.
Even when he lost everything. Why?
So I still like the Spurs. They've gutted it up the last 3 games and won them. They're sitting right there in the 7th spot. So right now they would be playing Golden State in round 1. If by miraculous chance Kawhi Leonard said, my mind is suddenly healed, my mind is right, because it's all in his mind,
well,
then I would have a shot.
If you don't mind me telling you, let me tell you how this is going to end. This many for Golden State, this many for the Spurs.
Probably. If he doesn't play, that's probably what would happen.
If he plays.
Yeah.
Hold on. You expect that man to come miss all but 9 games, come back in the playoffs, and somehow get his team past the Warriors? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I'll take the Spurs tonight against Golden State for a case of dew.
Man.
I'll do it right now. You want it?
They can let me play. No, I don't want nothing. No.
Skip,
you see who they're trotting out there?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, exactly, you do.
Yeah. Quinn Cook or something.
Yeah, Quinn Cook. Jordan Bell.
Yeah.
Okay, Draymond, all they got is Draymond. Draymond had a nice night, but no.
You know what? I think all of a sudden the planets are aligning for Russ's revenge. I think it's just set up for it. Because in the end, you go on and on about James Harden, this, Chris Paul, that. Do you really trust him in the postseason? I do not. Do you trust that coach in the postseason? I do not.
You trust Russ?
Yep, I do.
Why?
I just do, because he's got a little help for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, so what was Kevin Durant and James Harden?
Since Kevin left, obviously.
Okay, what about that? They was up 3-1. He ain't have no help.
No.
Skip Bayless.
Maybe he's grown up now.
Okay, well, so he had Kevin Durant, who you proclaim is the best player in the NBA. He had Serge Ibaka.
Yep. But obviously, Kevin and Russ were a terrible fit because Kevin just couldn't stomach it. Because Russ was the point guard.
You up 3-1.
Yeah, Russ is the point guard. Russ gets to decide every time to up the floor who gets to shoot it. Am I going to shoot it? I think I'll shoot it.
It wasn't a problem when
Am I going to let Kevin shoot one? I think I'll let Kevin shoot.
This is what I'm trying to figure out, Skip. You said it was a problem. They couldn't determine who was going to shoot the ball and who was going to bring the ball up the court. But somehow they were able to get a 3-1 lead.
They were.
Okay, then what happened?
Well, you go look. I can show you exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Those two could not share the load.
Yeah.
It's your turn, my turn, and then it was nobody's turn.
They needed me to do the Heimlich.
Yeah,
That's what they gagged it off. Say what it is. Like you tell them. If it was, man, I could imagine. If LeBron James ever had a 3-1 lead on anybody and coughed it up, it'd be over.
Really?
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
He had all the momentum against Orlando that year when he hit the shot heard around the world. Then what happened?
Skip, the road team had already won the first game.
It felt like it was 3-1 going to Orlando.
No, it didn't.
It
didn't feel like that.
People proclaim LeBron James the greatest player ever. He had eclipsed Michael Jordan with that shot.
You keep telling people
you got a feeling. And they lost 4-2. 4-2.
I got some tenactin and Lotrimin in my dressing room, and you got that feeling. But here's the thing.
I got this feeling. This is going to be Russ's revenge year. You watch. They're going to break through.
If LeBron ever had a 3-1 lead, now we've seen guys have 3-1 leads and blow it. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. But not him.
No. Well, when has he ever been in that position? I can't remember.
No. He like to come from behind.
I know, but they're always losing some way. You know, he's 3-5 in the finals. So.
Yeah, we would have been 4-4 if we'd had Kevin Love and Kyrie that first one. Because you know we was going to win that one, Skip.
Wouldn't it be funny if after KD got his revenge over LeBron for what happened in, what was that year that LeBron broke through? 2012. And then Russ, who was also on the Baby Thunder, along with James Harden. What if Russ got his revenge on LeBron?
Ain't no revenge.
So Kevin, NBA Finals MVP last year, Russell Westbrook, NBA Finals MVP this year.
That ain't gonna happen.
Wow.
I mean, if you got to go, hey, look, if you got to go join forces, I mean, if somebody, if you want to go join forces with Tom Brady to get your revenge on the Eagles, so be it. So be it. Zeke.
Nobody's joining forces with Tom Brady.
Okay, then.
Huh?
So it's over. The teams have been set. There's no more playoff rosters. This is what you have going to the
LeBron's
finals.
never joined forces with anyone?
He did. But
I mean, I'm not throwing shade. It worked out well for me.
But if you don't mind me asking, were they in the playoff that year? Oh, I didn't think so.
Did he have a championship before he came there?
The Heat, if the Heat had won 73 games.
You like to do the counting thing. How many rings did LeBron have before he came to Miami?
He had none.
Oh, okay.
And how many D-Wade got now? Thanks to LeBron.
Thanks to LeBron.
Yeah.
Wait, I
he
think
had
it's
one
the other way
before
around.
LeBron.
Yeah. How many times? How many
He had one before LeBron.
final MVPs? That many?
Wait, how many rings did Ray Allen win for LeBron?
None. No. You know what, Skip, baby?
He did.
Just like Steve Kerr won one for Jordan, him and Paxson.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait a second. Dwayne won a ring for LeBron. Then Ray Allen won a ring for LeBron.
Paxton won one. Kerr won one.
Yeah.
And then Kyrie, right?
And then Draymond won a ring for LeBron.
That's right. Stop, Skip. They played two more games after that.
That turned this tide.
And it turned nothing.
Huh.
You know what? I can't believe you enjoy. You
Did
enjoy
John
y'all
Elway
keeping
tell
stuff
a
going.
big lie about this quarterback situation? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
The Broncos got their new quarterback last week when they signed Case Keenum to a 2-year, $36 million deal. They were reportedly interested in Kirk Cousins, but Peter King reports John Elway and Denver did not make Cousins an offer because they were able to get Keenum for a lot less money. Case was introduced in Denver on Friday, and Elway said he's the quarterback they wanted all along. Let's take a listen.
We're real excited about the fact that the Case is here. He is, as we talked about after the season, that we needed to upgrade at that position, and we got our guy. We got the guy that was our target. You know, having gone through the whole process in the offseason and where we are till today, everything that we looked at, it all came out to Case.
Shannon, do you believe Elway?
Interesting.
I believe John Elway got the guy they could afford.
Oh.
It's kind of like I got Ford money, but I'm at the Bentley or the Rolls Royce dealership. Why am I there, Skip? I can't afford nothing on the lot. So let me just go ahead before they sell the car that I was looking at the Ford dealership first. Let me go ahead and go back and get that one before they sell it, and now I'm stuck. He knew it was going to take somewhere between $28 and $30 million to sign Cousins. He also knew he was probably going to have to guarantee the first 2 to 3 years at the bare minimum of that contract because not only were the Broncos going to be interested, so were the Jets, who had way more money, so were the Vikings, who had more money. So, no, Skip. For me, the one thing that we know about these teams, they try to get as much information as you possibly can. So what are you trying to tell me that you would rather have Case Keenum with a 14-game body of work or Kirk Cousins over a 3-year body of work? Now, I get it. Last year, Keenum was the second-rated quarterback in the whole NFL. Cousins was 16th. But in the prior 2 years, Cousins was second and sixth. Where was Keenum? Nowhere to be found. So Minnesota had the luxury. They got all their guys up on all their key guys under contract. They believe they're one quarterback away from getting to the Super Bowl. I believe the Broncos are a quarterback away from getting to the playoffs. They have much more holes to fill. With the $10 to $12 million that they saved on Case Keenum, now you could possibly go get a right tackle. Maybe you can get, hey, who knows? And maybe Ndamukong Suh might be in their future something. But there are other issues. There are more holes to be filled. Skip, he would have bankrupted their franchise. And I'm being facetious here. But you're going to have to start cutting players to sign Keenum, and that defeats Cousins. That would have defeated the purpose of you going out and get. If you got to let DT walk, Demaryius Thomas wide receiver, you got to let Emmanuel Sanders walk. What good is it doing you getting first Cousins? That's what happened to him. He wasn't coming. That's what happened to him in Washington. They let Pierre Garçon walk. They let Deshaun Jackson walk. No, he wasn't going through that again. So, and what was he supposed to say? Nah, that ain't what the guy we wanted. We wanted Kirk Keenum is sitting right there. Man, we ain't want this dude right. This Joker, man, we wanted first cousin. So he said everything he was supposed to say. But I believe, Skip, if he had $90 million, that he could say, okay, I do believe Cousins would have been their quarterback instead of Case Keenum. But it's a good, hey, sometimes you're not the first option. That's not always a bad thing.
So you're saying your old friend John Elway basically lied through his teeth, right?
He misspoke the truth.
Oh, he misspoke the truth.
They're two
really?
different things.
And it was, as they say, like a white lie, like it was a good lie or whatever.
No,
that's what you're saying?
He got the guy that he wanted for the price that he wanted. But Skip, I mean, if he had 90, you mean to tell me, so let's just say for the sake of argument, money is no issue. You mean to tell me he's going to take Case Keenum over Kirk Cousins?
I kept reading that John Elway had it set where he could spend up to $30 million on Kirk Cousins if he had chosen to.
Yeah, but what are you going to have to do? Yeah, I can live in Malibu, but I'm going to have to walk to work every day. I ain't going to have no lights. I ain't going to have no furniture. I'm just going to have an empty shell.
You could afford Uber or something. I don't know.
No,
Right?
not if I live up in Malibu, I can't.
You could.
But then I live a little closer here. See, now I got a nice little car. I got to keep the lights on, burn the fireplace, got a little pool. See?
There's some little places in Malibu that aren't that expensive.
Yeah, real little. They call outhouses.
But then it would take you like
porta potties.
It'd be an hour to get to work every morning, right? You don't want that.
It'd definitely be an hour and a half to get back home.
Definitely. So, I believe John Elway. I'm serious. I believe him because I think he saw what I was seeing all along, or vice versa. I was seeing what he was seeing all along, because the truth is, Kirk Cousins was being laughably overrated. And John Elway's certainly smart enough to sit back and see that. He's had a hard time picking college kids, but as far as if you can see them play pro football, I think John Elway sat back and said, wait a second, somebody is going to guarantee Kirk Cousins $84 million for 3 years?
Yeah.
28 a year?
28 a year.
28 a year for every penny guaranteed. For a guy who finished 4 games under 500 as Washington's 3-year starter, a guy the Redskins could never buy into completely or commit to long term.
Let's not use them as the example.
Well,
They've been terrible.
Okay,
they gave Albert Haynesworth $100 million.
But that's not a quarterback. They bet on RG3, and it was a great bet for a year because he won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Okay, other than that, what have they done wrong? I think they made a good move to get Alex Smith, but it was an expensive move, and they committed to him.
All they got was an older version of Kirk Cousins.
All right.
Washington picking quarterbacks goes back to Heath Schuler. So let's not get them, because, Skip, they've been terrible at picking quarterbacks. We could agree
But how
with that.
can you hold, you got to hold each regime responsible. Norv Turner picked Heath Schuler. That's on him.
Yeah, and
is he with the Redskins now?
And who came after him? And he picked. There have been a lot of quarterbacks
Okay.
that come through. But here's the thing. It's hard for me to believe. And if he says it, okay, so be it. But I believe if they had $90 million and they weren't, because here's the thing. If you got that kind of money, they already asked, they guaranteed what? $18 million of Bonds Millers. They turned it into a signing bonus. Can you imagine what they would have had to do to sign this man? You got to let Demaryius Thomas, you got to let Emmanuel Sanders go, you got to let Derek Wolfe go. They already got rid of Talib. They were moving heaven and earth just to be able to get in position to get Case Keenum.
Okay. So, John Elway's a smart guy.
He's very smart.
And he knows about rivalries. He knows what used to happen when he and Shannon Sharp would play the Raiders or the Chiefs.
Yes.
You got to win those games. That's where you make your money.
Absolutely.
That's where you make your imprint on the legacy of the Denver Broncos.
Yes.
You got to beat your rivals.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins went 1-6 against my Cowboys and went 0-4 against the Cowboys at home. That's just not good enough to merit or warrant $84 guaranteed million. So, to me, that is March Madness. That's even more madness than the tournament.
But it happens. Skip. My first couple of years in Denver, I think we were like 2-4 against the Raiders. No, 2-6. They swept us in 90. We beat them in 91. They swept us in 92. They swept us in 93.
Where were you?
I was in Denver.
Where were you? What happened?
I was cooking those, Skip.
Skip,
I was cooking them. I dropped, in the playoff game, I dropped 13 for $156 on a tub. I went 6 for 121 and 2 tubs.
Those are LeBron numbers.
They
You lost.
Skip, I had that in the first half, and they ain't throw me no more passes.
Whose fault was that?
I don't know who fault that was.
Well, blame somebody.
Well, it was John's fault because he was the quarterback.
Yeah.
But he was real smart because he realized early on, if I throw it to that young kid from Savannah State, good things going to happen for me.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said to himself. He's like, I'm going to throw it to him tomorrow in practice and see what he do with it.
Really?
Yeah, he threw it to me and I took it to the house. He's
Okay.
like, that's my guy right there.
And so that's why you finally started breaking through against the Raiders? He said, I got to throw it to...
Yeah, and then we started
84.
sweeping them every year. We swept them ever since.
Really?
Ever since.
Okay. Well,
Kansas City, too.
Yeah.
Kansas City was a little tougher, though.
Well, so we're saying that John Elway was better than Kirk Cousins is. That's all.
You
right?
think?
Yeah, I think so. So that
A lot cheaper, too.
Okay, well, that's what we're talking about. This is Kirk Cousins, and I think John Elway's sitting in his office upstairs in that stadium saying, "What are they thinking? What are they doing?"
Well, if that was the case, they should have never taken Peyton Manning because he was getting crushed by the Patriots. You remember that? The Patriots were killing Peyton Manning every year, crushing him.
He beat him once.
Yeah.
Big one.
Yeah, that was they were on switch divisions by then when the AFC Championship game. But I'm saying when they were in the AFC East together, you remember what used to happen, Skip?
Well, I know what happened. Peyton Manning was the greatest regular season quarterback ever.
No, but Tom was winning.
Nobody's ever had higher seeds going to the postseason than Peyton had in his Indy years.
Yeah.
Didn't cash in on a lot of them.
Yeah, but it takes you have one bad game. Peyton throw for 325, but the defense give up 455, and you lose. And Peyton got to win those games.
He's still Peyton Manning, and he knocked on your door and said, "Can I come play for you?"
Yeah,
and you're like, "Yeah,
absolutely." I was
do that."
Campaigning.
Yeah, but he also lost a home game to
Joe Flacco.
To Joe Flacco,
and he lost one to Andrew Luck 2 years later.
Yeah,
but I believe that given the same set of circumstances, that if John Elway had $90 million to play with and he would not have to turn his roster upside down, I believe Cousins would have been. But Skip, going into it, once you start getting an idea, they started floating this out there. The Jets say, we'll give you a blank check. They're talking about fully guaranteeing. John's like, whoa, we need to slow this thing down. I'm not going nowhere near no fully guaranteed contract. I'm not giving anybody a blank check. So they're saying Jets like, we give him a blank check. Guaranteed.
But remember, after all the rampant speculation about how Kirk Cousins would be a great fit in Denver, I'm not sure there's any communication between Cousins camp and John Elway. I didn't read any about it.
Yeah, I don't need to go talk. I don't need me to talk to a dealer about the Rolls Royce. I already know I ain't got no money. So why am I going to Joy wasting that man time?
To me, John Elway made the best move of the free agent period. Of all the moves that got made, this is the best one because he got Case Keenum, who had a really good year, as you point out, last year, and he got him for a total of $15 million that he's committed to next year.
Right.
That's it. Period. End of story. You could cut him after next year if you wanted to.
Yeah, but he still got $7 million guaranteed.
Okay, but I mean that his total ticket for next year is $15 million.
But here's the thing, Skip. So are you willing to look at Case Keenum, his 14-game resume? Because, he's been in the league longer than 14 games. I'm willing to look at Kirk Cousins' body of work. And although it hasn't always been great, his body of work says he's a better quarterback than Case Keenum. That's what his body of work says.
I don't know about that. Case Keenum finally got a chance to be a full-time starter for, obviously, for a good team. But Case Keenum can make plays with his legs. He can create plays that Kirk Cousins cannot create.
Well, I hope so. I hope he creates some of them next year
He will.
for the Broncos. But here's the thing. I think Cousins will let it rip now because he has something. He has guarantees.
All right.
He was playing under that franchise tag, Skip, and you know what that means. If he throws 2 interceptions in a game or he ends the year with 17 touchdowns, everybody say, see, I told you. Now he doesn't have to be afraid. I got the backing of a franchise, the head coach, the front office. They believe in me. They bet with me, not against me. So.
Okay, but look what he's perfectly positioned now. He's got the 5th pick in the draft.
We're going to trade it.
If he does, but if he wants to sit there and if he likes Josh Allen and sees some Elway in Josh Allen,
I'm going to trade it.
I don't. But if he wants to do that as a project young quarterback, You could still do that because
You
you
got 2 years.
got a 2-year bridge. If you want, you don't even have to keep Case Keenum for the second year. It'd be a little more expensive the second time around, but probably worth it if you need him for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see. You believe it. I just believe if it had the money, I would have done, Skip. I was going to get that, you see that new Bentley truck they got out?
No, I have not.
I like the Bentley truck.
It's nice, ain't it, Joy?
So Kirk Cousins is a Bentley truck?
He Range Rover.
Range Rovers are nice. Next up, the Jets made a huge trade this weekend to move up in the draft. They'll now pick 3rd overall after sending the 6th pick and 3 second-round picks to the Colts. The Jets have been in need of a franchise quarterback, and right now they have Josh McCown and Teddy Bridgewater on the roster. So, Shannon, which quarterback will they end up with?
First of all, Skip, I want to say this trade makes no sense to me. But I believe they'll end up with Josh Rosen because I believe Josh Allen or Darnold will come off the board first. I also believe somebody's going to come up to the Giants' number 2 pick. This makes no sense. Why would you go to 3? What this tells me is that they got virtually the same grade on 3 of these 4 quarterbacks, Skip. Because you're telling me that you're going to allow someone else to pick, well, I'll take who you don't want. Nah, if you're going to come up to the 1 spot. You got the ammunition. You got the first. You can flip first-round picks with the Browns. You got all those. You got all those picks. What are you doing? Just come on up.
Well, you did force Cleveland's hand because now Cleveland almost has to take a quarterback with the first pick. Because before this, Cleveland could just sit at 4 and say, "Hey, nobody's going to take it. We'll get the pick of the litter at 4, right?"
But guess what? Buffalo got the arsenal to go on up to 1. They got 2 first-rounders. They got 11 and 22?
They could go up there.
So they can come on up there to 1. Somebody can go up to the Giants pick at 2. And here you are in the 3rd slot. Nah. You're going to allow 2 teams to pick your quarterback for you. That's not the guy. For me, I would have gone up to 1, and that way I can sit back and pray. I ain't worried about nobody jumping me. You give up all that, Skip, and you're going to tell me, after all the tape that you watched, after going to these young men pro days, that you have the exact same grade on all of them. Because that's what you're telling me. Because you have no idea who's Cleveland's going to pick. But I do believe somebody's going to come up to the Giants. Now, the Giants might be sending out smoke screens, say we love Eli, trying to get somebody to buy really, really high.
Possible.
You give me 2 first-rounders,
Possible.
I'll flip with you. And you give me next year's first round and next year's second. But this makes no sense to me, Skip. This is no man's land. Maybe if you go to 2. But the 3, Skip, 2 teams are in front of you. Someone still can come up and get the quarterbacks, get Allen, get Darnold. It's hard for me to believe that they believe. I don't know. Look, I get it. There's a lot of pressure on the Giants to get this right. They've been searching. It didn't work out quite as well as they'd hoped with Mark Sanchez.
The Jets.
The Jets. Hackenberg was a major disaster. Geno Smith was a major disaster.
Bryce Petty, I still like, but they didn't. Hasn't worked
They
out.
got McCown. They got Bridgewater. I don't know what the hell. I don't even know what the hell they're doing. You signed Teddy Bridgewater for 1 year. You re-signed Josh McCown for a year, and everybody knows you're in the market for a quarterback. So what the hell you got all the? Just don't know what they're doing. They need to call me. But what they should have done is use that artillery to go on up to the number 1 slot instead of dilly-dallying around and fooling with the Colts at the 3, because the Colts are going to be able to get the guy that they want at 6 and accumulate a whole bunch of draft picks, not that they know how to use them anyway.
I say with the 3rd overall pick in the draft, the New York Jets should take Baker Mayfield.
In New York?
Yep.
You must be out your mind.
That's exactly why I would do
You
it.
crazy.
I would do it. Baker Mayfield will be fueled by the New York media. He lights up to the media, and he responds to criticism better than any quarterback I've seen in a long time.
He'll be fueled by the nightlife in New York City.
That would be the downside to this. If you could keep him upright, if you could keep him out of the Manhattan nightlife, whichever club you want, you would have the perfect New York anti-Giants quarterback. You'd have the perfect anti-Eli because you would own the back pages with Baker Mayfield, because trust me, he would be a story a day. You would hope those would be on the field in the locker room
He's
stories.
on page 6, too.
Well, he could.
Yeah, Joy. Page 6, you didn't think I know about that, did you?
You know about page 6. Yep. So Baker Mayfield is the most ready of these quarterbacks to play next year, and I believe you could throw him right into the fire and he would be just fine for the Jets. And right now, the Jets are down. They need to fight for the back page headlines with the Giants. I'm not sure the Giants are much better, but they still have Eli. It's made to order because, to me, if it is Josh Rosen, I just don't believe in his mental toughness. And I think he would crumble under New York media fire in a way that Baker would thrive on it. So, again, long-term, Baker Mayfield will be much better to me as a pro than Josh Rosen if, and I know it's a big if, he's got to stay out of trouble. And
Skip, you can't take a guy, you can't take that position that high and then hope. You got to know definitively that this is the guy that we can count on. And we can't hope that. You can't, not in this situation, Skip, because guess what? They're not picking any more quarterbacks with this regime. You miss on this one, you're up out of there. It's as simple as that.
I can't believe this regime is still there.
Exactly.
To start with.
So
Yeah.
you know, look, maybe the owner, Woody Johnson, he's the ambassador to somewhere.
Yeah.
So maybe he don't know what they got going on over here.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes back and realizes what they done, he going to get them up out of there. Skip, you cannot hope. When you take a quarterback and you take him in the top 10, basically you're saying, if you take a quarterback in the first round, you're saying he's a franchise. But when you take him that high, you got to know everything. He has to check every last box. And there can be no asterisks, there can be no question marks. Because if it is, no, sir.
What I love about Baker Mayfield is he is by far the best leader of these kids at the top of the draft. He turned around that whole Oklahoma program.
Skip, Oklahoma was always Oklahoma.
I'm just saying, he lit a new fire there that I had not seen before. He was even overcoming the lack of fire in Bob Stoops.
You did know he lost to a true freshman.
Well,
He lost to a true freshman.
Hey, Roquan Smith, you don't think that defense?
No, true freshman.
Yeah.
Beat him head to head, made big throws. Throws that he couldn't make late in the ball game in
He did not
overtime.
make some big throws. Boy, did he make some throws in the first half, first 3 quarters.
Whoa, no.
Did he not light them
Hold
up?
on. You know the second. Hold on now. Now, when I tried to give you the same scenario,
Well,
tell
I'm
you
just
about
saying.
another guy.
You
There was
saw
a
it.
guy that was left-handed, Joy, that played terrible the first 3 quarters. But the last 5 minutes of the game, when the money was on the table, Skip Bayless says,
Help me out. Who had the better defense, Georgia or Oklahoma?
whoa.
Help me
whoa,
out.
whoa. Who had the better quarterback?
No, you're changing the subject. Who had the better defense? It's not even close.
But we knew that
I have no
going-
idea how Oklahoma got to that game with the defense they had or did not have, because they didn't have much defense. They didn't play much defense all year.
No. In the Big 12, they don't play a whole lot of defense.
Georgia can really play
Yeah,
defense.
yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Yeah.
But the Heisman Trophy winner, everybody was saying they had never seen a guy that can throw the ball in the speed like Oklahoma. Ooh, man, as soon as they're loaded.
He put it on them.
No, he didn't.
No, he
They
didn't.
put it on him.
No.
No.
What was the score? I can't remember. The
A true
halftime score?
freshman. A true freshman. And then you want to talk about he wanted St. Nick. He didn't want to see St. Nick and that stink knocker he got down there.
would've
He
lit
keep
them
it down.
up. Whew.
National champ.
He would have laid 40 on them.
We're not letting, guess what? We'll be back in the Alabama Invitational again. And
Yep.
guess who won't? Oklahoma. But that being said, Skip, I don't think that's a recipe for success to put Baker Mayfield in New York. Maybe, he'll be the leader. Guess what? He'll take over Odell's place. He'll be leading the guys on the nightlife in New York.
Yeah.
He's going to, they already talking about, he's Joe Namath. No. I don't need you to be Joe Namath just yet. I need you to win something first. Then you can become Joe Namath.
Broadway Baker. I like it.
Yeah, okay,
Got a
bro.
ring to it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I'll tell you what's going to be ringing. Woody, Baker was out last night until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be ringing.
I don't
the
mind if he's
telephone.
out till 3 a.m. It just depends what he ingests. That's all I care about.
Skip,
That's
you
all I
do
care
not
about.
want your quarterback out at 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, you know better.
If he's sipping water, I'm good.
I don't care what he doing. What he doing? Studying the playbook by the jukebox?
Yeah, he might.
No, he ain't.
They don't have jukeboxes in the club.
What they got? What they got in the club now? I ain't been in a minute.
It's just DJs.
Yeah, the DJ. So he out there at the DJ booth.
Yeah,
Study their play.
yeah. By the light of the DJ booth, he's studying.
No, he ain't. No, he's not. Skip, you know better.
Yeah.
You know good and well Baker Mayfield is not going top 5. So get that thought out your head.
I would do it.
I
I
would
told you,
not.
he's the best of this bunch.
Yeah.
He could still go to Denver.
No.
He could.
No.
Yeah.
No. We got our quarterback of the future.
Which staff?
Case Keenum.
Wait, which staff requested to coach his side in the Senior Bowl? Oh, it was Denver staff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we saw up close, and we saw enough. No,
Oh,
we
you
got
saw
Case.
enough?
We got Case.
Yeah.
Case Keenum.
On the
case
case.
closed.
Yeah, case
So
closed.
where should Baker go then? He can't
I
go
don't
to
know.
Denver.
No.
Can't go to New York. Can't go to Miami.
Yeah, go to Miami. Miami, I like Miami.
I love Baker in Miami.
Yeah, you love Tannehill, too. You love Jay Cutler.
I did not.
You love Matt Moore.
I do like Matt Moore.
Yeah, okay. But Adam Gase doesn't like Matt Moore.
Well,
So tell me what you like about Josh Rosen. I got to hear this. I'm out. I'm down.
But you out on everybody.
No, I'm not. I'm not on Baker Mayfield. And I like Sam Darnold. I just don't like all the turnovers last year. It scares me.
And normally when guys turn the ball over in college, what they bring with them, Skip? That ability to turn the ball over in the NFL.
See Jameis Winston.
Yes, see Jameis Winston.
Yep.
But I think Josh Allen, with better coaching, better skill players around him, Skip, we can work it. I mean, you can't teach 6'4" and a half.
I know he can throw it 70 yards in the air. I know he can throw it X mile an hour. You know, nobody throws it farther or harder than Josh Allen.
He ain't pitching.
Watch the tape. All I know is I watched TV at Iowa, at Boise, first half of the Senior Bowl. Go back and watch it and tell me what you see. You see inaccurate. You see lack of poise. Man, you got it. I don't know. You don't see much feel for the game.
I was nervous the first time I got on the NFL field. I was nervous, Skip.
You did not play quarterback.
I'm saying you're nervous. It's just natural.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you realize you belong. I'm looking at you. You a bum. I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I belong here.
What do you like about Josh Rosen?
So watching him go head-to-head with Sam Darnold, he looked like the better player with the lesser talented team. And he can spend now all that other stuff about, he's humanitarian or there are other extracurricular activities off the field. I don't know anything about that. But when I watch him play, I watched him come back against Texas A&M down by, 30 points. I did watch that happen. And I watch him play very well. Now, he looks a little frail to me, but start eating, get a little nutritionist. I mean, he'll be all right.
Go watch the tape at Memphis and tell me what you saw.
You tell me,
okay.
is Baker Mayfield going to grow between 9
Nope, he's not going to grow.
So that's it. He's 6 foot tall.
6 feet and 5/8 of an inch
That's
tall.
it.
That's
all I
enough.
got.
That's enough. He's probably 5/8 of an inch taller than Drew Brees.
I just want to know. He giving up drinking? He giving up partying?
I would doubt it.
I can't do nothing with him then. I can't do nothing with him.
Yep.
why have there been so many upsets in the NCAA tournament? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
There have been upsets all over the place in the NCAA tournament. Virginia was on the wrong side of history on Friday night when they became the first #1 seed ever to lose in the first round. Xavier, North Carolina, Cincinnati, and Michigan State were also upset this weekend. For the first time since 2004, multiple #1 seeds failed to make it to the Sweet 16. Shannon, how do you explain all the upsets?
These are teenagers on a big stage. And if you look at it, Skip, a lot of these prominent programs, their best players, they're one and done. They're two and done max. Most of these teams that upset these teams, they're juniors and senior led. And the days of we seeing the Georgetown go to 3 straight Final Four, that's over, Skip, because the players were staying longer. It's hard to build a program when you get into Kentucky's one and done. If you go to Kentucky, their starting 5, Skip, they're gone. Duke starting 5, they're gone. They got a senior in Grayson Allen. But for the most part,
Cal's doing a pretty good job once again of molding those 5 kids into something that's pretty good.
And it's laid out for him. He's going to probably have to be a 13 or 16 or 12 to get to the Final Four. But that's what happens, Skip. These Power 5 teams, they have got most of their best players are freshmen. And you're asking an awful lot. And this is what we love about it, Skip, because now we get an opportunity to see. My team was never going to play North Carolina or Duke or Kentucky in the regular season. But in this, when they don't know really a whole lot about us, I know you watch tape, but you're not paying attention to UMBC. As a matter of fact, our wardrobe's Autumn. She said, take them over Virginia. I said, give me the sheet. You don't know what she's talking about.
Way to go, Autumn.
Autumn McGillicuddy. That's her name.
History.
Yeah, she's making history.
Wow.
But anyway, I told her to get my sheet because she didn't know what she was talking about, and that was the only thing she got right. But anyway, Skip, when you're dealing with young men, Skip, teenagers, anything can happen. You know this, and that's why we love March Madness. That's why they call it March Madness, because on any given Thursday or Friday, any given Saturday or Sunday, the unknown can happen. and we see it over and over, and you're going to start seeing it more and more. You might see it even more, Skip, because guess what? If they change this rule that the best college freshman's not going to even come, hey, you're going to get it. You're going to get it right upside the head. I like it. I was upset. Carolina lost. You know I'm a Tar Heel fan. And you know what made it even worse? Roger Federer had 3 match points on his racket against Del Potro, and he lost.
So? What does that have to do with this?
Because it was a bad day for me yesterday. That's why I was hungover. I knew something like this was going to happen. That's why I was hungover from Saturday.
You don't even drink.
I'd had some Jameson. LeBron James. Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You were hungover on water? Or you
No.
drank water?
Don't worry about it, Skip
Water,
Bayless. I was
water.
disappointed that my team lost. Your team lost. Your team didn't even make it.
Who's my team?
Vanderbilt's your
Oh,
team.
that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
They had a bad year.
Bad history.
So you're right. It becomes parity, hilarity. That's what it is. I have always loved March Madness. I've never been able to pick March Madness because my golden rule has always been the more you know about college basketball, the worse your picks will
You're
be.
exactly right.
And yet, as much as I love watching these games, I watched all weekend, I accept it for what it is. It's unfair what they do. It's wildly exciting for all the wrong reasons because the format is wildly unfair because you throw 2 teams together, do or die. It's not a 7-game series. This is it. One or done. And they throw them together in Boise, Idaho, or Wichita, Kansas, and the starting times can be from late morning to real late at night.
Correct.
And the shooting backgrounds in the weird arena could be not to your liking,
Yeah.
and the refs you've never seen before. And the games are too short for me because I like the length of an NBA game. These are 40 minutes versus 48, and they're over in a blink. It's like I look up and I say, wait, there's only 4 minutes left in the game? It's like it's gone, and 5 fouls to 6 fouls is a huge difference because inevitably some star on one of these college, the top-rated teams gets in foul trouble because if you get 2 fouls in a college game,
you out in the first half.
and now you're in trouble.
Yes.
You're going to be in trouble the whole game. And
That's what happened to Carolina. Luke May
true.
picked up
He
2
did.
early
He
fouls,
did.
and he had to go to the bench. And
the reffing can be very amateurish,
Right.
where you're just saying, what was that? And it can degenerate. Most of these games degenerate into a 3-point shooting contest.
Yes.
So I can just show you the numbers.
Yes.
So Friday night against Virginia, UMBC. I had to look up what it stood for because I didn't even know. I'm sorry, I didn't know. But they make 12 of 24 threes. That's 50%.
Yeah.
That will work. Meanwhile, Virginia makes 6 of 22. That's 27%. That will not work.
Right.
So on the biggest stage, biggest moment, you just gag.
I think the thing is,
All
Skip,
won't fall.
we're used to seeing upsets, 1 point, buzzer beaters. But the number 1 overall seed get beat by 20.
Never seen
The
it.
number 2, Carolina, get beat by 20.
Okay.
That's what we're not used to
And look
seeing.
at this. Buffalo beat Arizona, the team I picked
Yeah.
on it all, by 21. They made 15 of 33s. Meanwhile, Arizona made 7 of 31. That's 23%. Well, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose by 20.
And Arizona has what many think is the number 1 overall pick in DeAndre Ayton.
They
but it just goes to show you, one team gets hot, Skip,
Yep.
and there's nothing you can do.
Yesterday, Texas A&M makes 10 of 24 threes. That's 42%. Your guys, Carolina, made 6 of 31. That's 19%. You're going to lose.
You're gonna lose.
You're just going to lose. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And even Syracuse, Michigan State. So a lot of people have a trendy pick to make it to the Final Four, Michigan State. And they go 8 of 37 from 3. That's 22%. And Miles Bridges, I've never been the biggest fan of his as an NBA player, but he shoots 3 for 12 from 3, and he had a couple late looks that looked like good looks.
He missed a point-blank layup.
No, he did. He did.
Skip, but I've never seen anything like the Michigan State. They out-rebounded Syracuse by like 29, and they lose. When was the last time I've never heard of a team out-rebounding another team by 29 and losing a ball game.
I don't know. Make shots, they made free throws.
But that's Skip, when you get all these teams, somebody knows either they went there or their friends went to that school.
Yep.
So everybody can embrace it. So it's not like I don't really care, because when it comes to like football, I don't really care who wins.
Yep.
I'm just who you for.
I agree.
But in this,
Yep.
somebody can embrace it.
So Michigan survived and won a game against Houston and Kelvin
dude was
Sampson.
fouled, too.
Yeah. Well, but they had no business winning this game. So their backcourt player, Charles Matthews, who's a third-year player, he fouls out. So you have to throw in a freshman named Jordan Poole, who didn't start a single game all year, who went 0 for 9 from 3 during the Big Ten tournament, and he winds up with the ball in his hand, and it's like an NBA 3.
Yeah.
And he just rips it as clean as you could rip it, and the game's over. And he's like, what did I just do?
Right.
I'm convinced a lot of these kids grow up watching March Madness, and every year we see so many buzzer beaters, it gets instilled in you. This is what happens.
Right.
Like it's like
supposed to happen.
Self-fulfilling prophecy that you know if you got the ball in your hands in an NCAA in a March Madness game and the clock's ticking down, well, you're supposed to. You've been watching it your whole life.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, shoot it. It'll go in. Everybody
will.
thinks it'll go in. So what drives the popularity of March Madness are the office pools. You mentioned Autumn. So inevitably, there'll be a man or a woman in the office who hasn't watched one dribble of college basketball the whole year.
Right.
And you're better off picking out of a hat. Just pick the names out of a hat. You'll have a better
I used to be
shot.
good at it, Skip. I used to be real good at picking it. I picked my friends, Sweet 16.
Yeah.
I get the Final Four, Lead 8.
Then what happened?
I don't know. I started studying it. I started trying to be like
study.
Yeah. Normally I just get a bracket, Skip, and I just fill out the bracket and I'm good.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I started 2 weeks out. I started looking at stuff. Well, they played good. The strength of ain't got it right since. Now my bracket is in the shredder.
Well, so most people's brackets are in the shredder. But there's somebody in an office this morning, there's a man or a woman who knows nothing, and they are leading the pool by far, and they're like the star of the day in their office.
But this is what we know will never happen. Nobody's ever going to have a perfect bracket. That's not going to happen. So Warren Buffett puts out $1 billion. Somebody offered their car. Say Zach Levine offered his car for someone. Skip, it's not going to happen. You're not getting a perfect bracket. It's too many scenarios that would allow that to happen. So, Warren, go and shoot your boy that bill. I can find something to do with it because you ain't going to give it away with that perfect bracket.
The only pool I ever won in my career was the year Melo was a freshman at Syracuse, and I just said, he's the best player in this tournament. They're going to ride him all the way home, and they did. So this year I thought DeAndre Ayton's the best player in the tournament, and they lose by whatever it was, 20 in the first round. Because they give up 15 to 33s.
I don't do pools.
Yeah?
No.
Huh.
Wait,
Swimming pools or nothing. I quit.
We're still going to fill one out every year. Just
We got to?
Yes.
I don't like losing.
Everyone does it.
Lo, did I beat you?
You play the lottery.
Yeah, I got a chance to win.
Well, you have a chance to get it right.
Even if I'm not going to win anything. Okay, I got bragging rights over Skip. I should beat Skip. I know more basketball than Skip. So that's nothing new. I do.
Didn't you guys both fill out a bracket?
We did. I think mine's better than his. I know I didn't have Arizona to win. I did have Carolina, though. So. Well, I got one more point to him. Carolina did win a game.
No mercy. We have breaking news. Ty Lue is taking a leave of absence from the Cavs. Lue issued a statement this morning saying, quote, I need to step back from coaching for the time being and focus on trying to establish a stronger and healthier foundation from which to coach for the rest of the season. He also said he's been experiencing chest pains and had to leave Saturday's game. It was the third time this year Lue has had to leave a game for health reasons. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard. Chris, what's your reaction?
First, I want to send my prayers out to Ty Lue.
Agreed.
And, obviously, you just hope that he's okay.
Right.
I do think, though, and he's not definitively out for the rest of the season.
Right.
It's just open-ended. Larry Drew will take over.
Right.
I do think, though, this could be good for the Cavs, not because of his coaching ability or lack thereof, however you look at it. I just think, one, this can give them something to rally around. This is a team that seems to look for motivation in different places. They may even be out there playing for Ty Lue, or they can use that as a cause. Two, my uneducated opinion is that this may be stress-related for Ty Lue. It's highly stressful to coach LeBron because it's always championship or bust.
But it's also every night is something.
Yes.
Like it's drama every night.
Yep.
I've told you, I've never followed a team in sports history, maybe outside of the Billy Martin, Reggie Jackson Yankees, that has this much drama. Every night is something, to the point that JR's throwing soup in Damon Jones'
Well,
face.
it shouldn't be
like,
that big of a deal, Skip, because Ty Lue is the assistant coach anyway. That's what you tell people every time.
I would
Well,
agree.
Ty get well soon. But I know what happened.
Yeah.
He been watching the Cavs play, and every night, like, my stomach. So he got to get away from that, Skip. But in all seriousness, when it happened the first time, I'm like, okay, maybe say he felt a little ill. And then it happened again. And then I'm looking for Ty on the sideline, and I don't see him, and I see Larry Drew calling time. I'm like, well, what's going on? You can see it starting to come with greater regularity now. And it is a very stressful situation. And when you coach an all-time great player, I don't care how great you coach. If your team doesn't win, it's your fault.
Yep.
Just like when Tony Dungy was coaching Peyton Manning, every year they didn't win the Super Bowl, it was Tony's fault.
Yep.
You got to win when you have these all-time great players because they're not going to put a whole lot of blame at their feet. They're going to place it at your feet. So I just hope he gets well. But you know what Bron's going to do. He's going to do what he always does.
Coach the team.
And continue going out with this lady. Joy saw her Saturday in Chicago with some green beer and red bottom.
And look, and I don't think that stress will be on Larry Drew because while Ty was going to get blamed, nobody's going to blame Larry Drew.
Yeah.
They could fall off the map.
That's true.
And nobody's going to blame him, so he's going to be free to coach it, stress-free. I think it could be.
What do you always say about LeBron? He feeds off the drama. He creates. He likes that dynamic because he rises in it.
Yep.
The quote-unquote coach does not. He crumbles under it. And Ty Lue, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I like Ty Lue.
You can watch before your very eyes. He has aged over his
Yeah,
life.
he got more.
And it looks
No
like
question.
being president of the United States. They just age because it's hard, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's just
Yeah.
right?
Ty Lue got more gray than me. I'm like, it was all jet black in this.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, no question.
So he's saying he can't sleep and he's got chest pains. It's a bad combination.
Dave McMenamin from ESPN had a note that when they got back from the road trip, a Cavs official told him this, he couldn't get to sleep till 9:30 in the morning. So it looks like stress. And like you said, LeBron and because of him, the Cavs have thrived in turmoil, dysfunction,
They have. They
drama.
thrive on it.
Whether it was Love and Kyrie out in 2015, whether it's being down 3-1 in 2016 to the Warriors, whether it was David Blatt or LeBron's battles with Love and Kyrie. And we said when they came together with this new trade, what is the drama gonna be? Because you knew something was gonna happen. I couldn't see what it would be. And I don't want to put this in the same category as those types of things. But this is turmoil. This is something you can rally against and rally.
Yep.
Gary Kubiak had a very similar situation.
He
Chest
did.
pains.
He did.
Couldn't sleep.
Yep.
And-
He got rushed to the hospital
Yes.
during a game.
And he had a mini stroke.
Yeah.
And he ended up stepping away from the game because of that very situation. But Larry Drew has an easy job. Brian, what you want? Brian, hold up. Brian, what you want? Hold the elbow up. Then we give him the one. That's what we're going to do, Skip.
I got it. I'm not saying Larry Drew's a better basketball coach than Ty Lue, but he's a very good basketball coach who's been around this league for a long time. And I don't know him, but I've been around observing him, and he's a tough guy. He's mentally tough, and I think he'll be able to stand up to whatever. Like you say, there aren't going to be huge expectations just on him, but whatever the drama swirling around him, I think he'll be okay with it.
And Kevin Love is listed as probable. Might be coming back in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Kevin Love.
You good now?
And we did without fourth Corver.
No more excuses?
Brian didn't make none. I mean, look what they had on Saturday. Look at the roster that he went out there with on Saturday. You saw that roster.
Yeah.
You could have been the ninth
I saw
man.
Chicago's roster.
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing.
Hold on, Chicago.
I'm not even going against it. I'm just saying,
Well, I'll tell you what, I just want to see what Dame Lillard do without C.J. McCullough. And then come talk to me, okay? We talk. Because I see what Anthony Davis is doing without Boogie Cousins. Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. We're going to talk about Bron a little later.
Those two guys you just named, Damian and AD,
Yeah.
they got to show me something when it matters. Just something.
Because you've seen something from that guy. My guy, when he was their age, was cooking folks.
I've seen your guy go 3-5 in the finals.
Hold up. You saw my guy at like 21 being in the NBA Finals too, did you?
He was.
Did you see that?
He was great.
Only Magic Johnson got there quick.
Yep, and he got swept. But it's okay.
If LeBron would have had Kareem, he wouldn't have got swept.
Okay.
Okay, then.
So you need Kareem? Are you that good or not?
Magic always had Kareem.
Yeah.
Always.
Everybody can have an all-time great player except Bron.
Yeah.
You the best player in the world. He got to do it by himself. Magic was winning MVPs with Kareem on the roster.
Okay, how was Kareem doing pre-Magic? He did win one.
He won 5 MVPs and 1 title.
In
They
Milwaukee.
missed the playoffs a couple times
They did.
with the Lakers before
did.
Magic got there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Kareem won MVP one year. It was different back
Yeah. And in Magic's rookie year, who was the MVP of the league, Skip?
then.
Kareem.
I thought this was about Ty Lue.
Right, Ty Lue gonna get well. I mean, he go home, eat some soup.
Yeah.
Look, you're in a stressful situation, Skip.
soup.
When you coach that guy and the expectation to
know.
get to the finals, because
Noodle soup's going to get him all fixed up.
well, that's why he texted JR.
Well, Rachel Nichols just put out LeBron's statement on it. He said, it's like losing one of your best players, obviously the guy who's the captain of our ship, who's been running things the past 3 years.
Running things. Ain't no quote. Put your hands
You
down.
know what?
Skip. Ain't no
This
quote.
also, does this take pressure off LeBron too?
No.
They're falling apart. His team is falling apart. The coach is out.
Man, look here. You know, Bron is MacGyver. You know, you throw MacGyver anywhere and he'll make something.
I'm with you.
Bron got this. And Bron, I trust.
I just don't think you can jump on him now if they don't.
Oh, yeah, he
like,
will. Oh, he
They
will.
got excuses.
He got no excuses.
These are some serious,
Yeah.
real excuses.
How many excuses does Boston have right now? Boston is dead in the water, man. They've lost everybody, and these are season-ending injuries.
I'd be downright shocked if they won the East. Now.
Yeah, you're good.
No.
The injury gods have said, let there be LeBron.
No.
And he's healthy.
Hold
right?
on.
He's the best player on the planet.
Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson,
Yeah.
JR. I mean, we're going to talk about George Hill in a minute. Now, George Hill, when he arrived in Cleveland, he was leading the NBA in three-point percentage. You already know how it's happening
Big
right
stage.
now. Yeah.
And playing with LeBron.
Oh, LeBron doing
You know when you get that kick-out pass and you wide open,
It's
you
your
better
turn.
hit it.
You better hit it.
Yeah.
Make it.
You can get 4 of them a game.
Yeah.
Get well
Hit 'em.
soon, Lou.
Chris,
Get
thanks
ready
for
for
joining
playoff.
us. Does the NBA have a serious problem with the refs? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Doc Rivers, Alvin Gentry, and Stan Van Gundy were all fined $15,000 in the past few days for criticizing officials. Van Gundy said the refs were, quote, embarrassing for the league after the Pistons lost to the Blazers on Saturday. Doc calls the officials a, quote, complete joke after the Rockets shot nearly 3 times as many free throws as the Clippers. Then Gentry went off on the refs after the Pelicans lost to Houston on Saturday. Let's take a listen.
The thing that bothers me more than anything, and I really don't care, is that, we try to play the right way and we play our ass off. And then what happened to us is that, AD never gets a call. He never gets a call. We talk about them holding him. We talk about them grabbing him on rolls. We're talking about him coming under him on post-ups. He never gets a call. Not one. And you know why? Because he doesn't complain about it. He just keep playing the game. And so then it comes down to a few plays in the game. You can't guess on plays when you got teams playing for playoff spots. You can't guess on the game. You can't guess on a foul. It's not right. It's not right. Because you know what? We're battling our ass off for a playoff spot. All I want to do is have an equal opportunity to win the game and not have an opportunity where we're guessing out of the corner on the biggest play of the game, what we call a three-point foul. Everybody look at that. You take a look at that. If anybody out here thinks it's a foul, then you tell me. Then I'll shut up and I won't say one more thing ever again. You take a look at the play. You take a look at the play when the guy walks up and winks his eye and says, yeah, I got him, Thanks, bye.
Shannon, what do you make of this?
Take that for data. The 3 coaches that were fined, Skip, they're feeling the pressure. Let's start with Stan Van Gundy. He's in charge of everything. He's the head coach. He picks the players. He made the trade for Blake Griffin.
He did.
And now they're 6.5 games out of the final spot in the East. So he's feeling the pressure. Doc Rivers, he had the GM taken from him, given to Jerry West. He's feeling the pressure.
Yep.
Now, Alvin Gentry, he might be safe because Boogie Cousins went down, and Anthony Davis has been playing out of his mind. But he's feeling the pressure of the expectations of getting this team to the playoffs. But this is not a good look for the NFL. Skip, it used to be a coach here or there would try to plant the seed, try to get some calls, especially in the playoffs. Normally, one team shoot more free throws than the other, and he'll plant, look, I don't know what game they were repping. But for one team to shoot 15, 10 more threes and free throws than the other team, that's unacceptable. So you're just trying to plant that seed. But it's every game. And it's not only coaches, it's the players. So we're getting players and coaches basically after every game from the losing side that says the officiating was terrible. And why is this team shooting? You already know when you play the Houston Rockets. They're going to shoot more free throws than you. One, they have James Harden. He's going to the free throw line 12 to 15 times a game. So just go ahead and chalk that one up. Say, look, guys, just drive the ball and let's just hope for the best. But I just think it's these guys in particular, and we see it more, but these guys are under immense pressure.
They are.
When you trade for Blake Griffin and you're close, and now you're 6.5 games out of the 6th spot, Skip, that's not a good look. Doc Rivers knows what's going on here. They took the power that he had to select the players and gave that to Jerry West, so now he's only a coach. Chris Paul wanted to leave. A lot of people think that had something to do with Doc. That doesn't look good with Steve Ballmer. And then Alvin Gentry, like I said, I believe he's safe because Anthony Davis is playing out of his mind. But that pressure will cause you to lash out, especially, like you said, 2 of these 3 guys are in a playoff hunt, the Clippers and the Pelicans. But this is what happens when the expectations of you getting to the playoffs and you're not meeting those expectations.
So we're in the throes of March Madness right now, and college basketball has always been a coach's game. The coach are the stars in college.
Correct.
Pro basketball, the NBA, is a player's game. It is a star's game. And once one of these coaches, in desperation, steps up, speaks out, and defends his player for not getting enough calls, then the other bottom feeders, the other guys who are on the edge of the playoffs, they all feel compelled. They got to speak up and speak out for their stars because they want to make sure their stars stay happy, which will keep them
knowing he
their
got
job.
my back.
Yeah, you got my back. So I've been around Alvin Gentry enough to know and to tell you, he is really a good guy. He's an NBA lifer. He's quality, high character. I was uncomfortable watching him in that rant because that's the first time he's ever done that, and he did not look comfortable doing it. It was premeditated. He'd thought it through. He'd sort of planned out his little speech, and he starts off by saying, the thing that bothers me the most, and I don't really care. Well, then what are you talking about? Why are you even talking if you don't really care? And then he goes off. And the final irony to this rant was, well, 2 things. But first of all, his guy, Anthony Davis, attempts the 3rd most free throws in basketball.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Okay. The 3rd most?
I wasn't going to say nothing.
Yeah.
I know a guy that's a little further, north in the Midwest.
That's true.
That would love to get some Anthony Davis loving.
You know what? I agree with that. LeBron does not get nearly enough calls as he drives the ball to the basket, which is why he should drive the ball to the basket even more.
They won't call it.
Okay, whatever. So, back to Alvin Gentry. The irony of the spot that he picked to make a stink over was the play in which Drew Holiday
hit James Harden on the wrist.
He hit him on the wrist. Can we see that again? He hit him on the wrist. He clearly just hits him on the wrist. He just reached out. Just because you snap your hand back, it doesn't mean you didn't hit him on the wrist. But he popped him right on the wrist. Here we go. Tell me he doesn't. That's a bad angle, but if we see the side view, he just popped him right on the wrist. I'm sorry, he got it. And the irony of that is, James Harden, if you just merely take your defensive stance when he's shooting a 3, they're going to blow the whistle on you.
Everybody knows if you put your hand out, the guy's going to bring the ball up through your hands, and he's going to get 3. So don't do it.
Okay? So he picked the wrong spot to make the right point, because it's the right point. James Harden gets way too many of those calls. He shot 47 more free throws than Greek Freak, who is second in free throw attempts. He averages 10 a game, 10.1. Greek Freak's 8.9, but then there's AD at 7.8. Well, 7.8 is pretty good, and it's way better than LeBron's getting.
My guy said, you know what, y'all don't want to call, so I just bust these 3s in your face. I just shoot 54% from the field. I just hit these step backs.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember Thursday? I mean, Saturday. Was it Saturday?
Yeah.
Ooh, on St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. In Chicago.
Yeah, he stopped by Blaze, got him a good old pie. You know, he loved it.
You're really on that.
Yeah, he
Chicago
loved that. Yeah, he's Chicago. He stopped by because normally Chicago they known for their piece of those thick. I mean, woo. But he said, I'm gonna go by Blaze and get me old thin slice. Probably old got pepperoni. That's what I like too. I like pepperoni, double ground
he
beef.
was stepping out with that lady.
Yeah, he got us sliced too.
Miss Triple Dub.
Yeah. She said she wanted anchovies on hers and olives.
Anchovies.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Those are fattening. You realize that.
Miss Triple Dub fat, she got 15 of them. He been feeding them for the whole year, Skip Bayless. You know what's happening. It makes you sick. I mean, you know what's going to happen tonight, right? You know what's going to happen tonight, right?
I don't.
Triple-double.
Really?
Yeah.
Against a bad Milwaukee team?
Don't do that, Skip.
Barely above 500?
No, don't do that, Skip. You didn't say they were bad when they beat them like 2 months ago.
I did.
No.
I've not liked them.
So we're going to pay them back.
Oh, okay. Good. God bless.
No.
That's big. That's impressive.
Got some for the Raptors on Wednesday, too. Do right now. You want it?
Nope.
Oh, wow, Skip. Hold on. We down Kevin Love. We without our head coach, and I can't get
back.
no.
He'll play against the Raptors.
No, he probably wasn't gonna play. We don't need him.
Probably going.
We
to
don't
play.
need him.
Oh, you
Brian gonna single-handedly do this.
You don't need him?
Nope.
He needs an
we don't need him
all-star.
now. In the playoffs, we gonna need him.
Oh.
But right now, O'Brien got this. Can I get a do?
Nope.
Skip, the Raptors won 57 games. Like 53, 54 games already, Skip. And I can't get no do.
I don't trust
DeMar
him.
DeRozan.
I don't trust him.
Kyle Lowry.
Don't trust
Serge Ibaka.
Do not trust him.
You were just heaping praise on Van Fleet.
I do, but
They got
he's out.
They got
He's
C.J.
out.
Miles. What about Valanciunas? The
Never
Lithuanian terror.
Do not trust him. Sorry.
He might be the best big man from Lithuania since Sabonis.
Yeah. He's not better than Nurkic. And by the way, did you notice?
Nurkic is not from
Nurkic
Lithuania.
came back from the dead. He played last night. I don't know how he did it. He was left for dead, right? You told me they did
Oh, yeah.
the-
They did it.
The chalk line around
Yeah,
him?
they put him down. He came back.
He's a zombie?
It took like 3-4 days for you
He's
to
a
recover.
zombie.
It
That's
takes-
right. I didn't even think about
It
that.
takes 3 or 4 days for you to recover.
I mean, he's not a LeBron zombie, obviously.
LeBron made him a screensaver.
Huh.
Everybody talking about it.
Is this still your background?
Blew up the internet, Skip.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. We're back again tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.